everyone, GXVL here with a brand new discussion talking about Amphibia. And oh boy, coming out of modern Disney of all things, they're not kicking it too well when it comes to the movie department nowadays, alright? Let's be kind of honest here, okay? But when it comes to the TV shows, let it be a hit or miss. Of course, while I do love enjoying that Owl House show, Amphibia is one of the few shows where I gotta say, I never knew I would love it way more than I should be. Because starting off with season 1, I thought it was, pretty much simple so far, a little bit predictable and cliche here and there when it comes to the writing and stuff. But, man, where it shines though, is the world building when it comes to season 1, okay? And, like, my goodness gracious, like, who knew that this world building of Amphibia within itself would be so refreshing and breathtaking? And not gonna lie, looking its own Earth, if you want to call it that, it's surrounded mostly around with water, which reminds me of another series I've been currently following, which is One Piece, that is mostly surrounded by water, and it has some islands and other big continents here and there, but it's mostly surrounded by water than how our own Earth looks like, okay? But going back on how the world building is, like, you get to see, like, toads, frogs, and whatever those lizard-looking things are supposed to be. Are they newts or salamanders? I need someone to correct me on this in the comment section below, okay? To remind me, okay? But, yeah, I think where it shines, at least with season 1, is how they handle the world building for the most part, especially when it comes to the character introductions, known as Anne Boon Choi, who is a teenager, who is at the age of 13. That's weird. Her character design gives me the impression she's at least like 16, but oh well. Hey, if she's 13, then she's 13, okay? And then we get the likes of Hop Hop and his 2 grandkids, known as Sprig and Polly. And just that you know, I wasn't too big on Polly at first, but she really grew on me a little bit later on. But I won't kid myself, like, they aren't really my most favorite characters, but they are very likable and well-written characters. Heck, I do have a favorite character, but she does appear in between season 1 and 2, and which I'll get to a little bit later, okay? Heck, a character I did strongly dislike so far is one of the side characters, which is known as the mayor, around that village where the planters live, where they took Anne in as if she was one of their own, which I think is pretty sweet, right? But, yeah, it's that mayor. He's basically an exaggerated version of Mr. Krabs, who is being voice acted by the same dude who voiced, if you guys recall, Gideon from Gravity Falls. It's Gideon's father. They got that same voice actor to voice as this exaggerated version of Mr. Krabs, just being mayor, right? So, yeah, I really don't like him that much at all. If you guys do, more power to you. For me, not so much, because most of the characters being presented, left and right, have very likable traits, very likable personalities, if I say so myself. And so, what happens between season 1 and 2, we get to introduce to the likes of Marcy and Sasha. And oh boy, I plan to make a separate video dedicated to Sasha because, like, I disliked her at first, but then she had her own Zuko redemption arc, her chemistry between herself and Grime, and 2 other characters. But man, like, she deserves her own video. And oh boy, just seeing how she blossomed at the end, not just her, but also like Marcy and Anne herself, the main protagonist of this isekai, if you say so, or if I say so myself. Yeah, you do get to see them all grown up, like 10 years later, when it comes to the season 3 finale. I'm not gonna spoil anything too much, but damn, Sasha, like, I know you were my favorite character and all, but damn, you look fine, girl. Right? Yeah, like, that took like 10 years later, so in other words, like, they used to be 13, now they're 23, oh wow. But anyways, before I get anything more close to the season 3, on how they introduced with these other characters known as Marcy and Sasha, I thought they were pretty interesting at first, but of course, I do need to mention my dislike with Sasha because apparently she did have a very troublesome relationship with the likes of Anne because Sasha was being way too controlling and not behaving too well as a friend towards Anne for the most part. Not too sure entirely with the likes of Marcy. Maybe it was kind of similar or slightly different, but yeah, Sasha and Anne did have a very troubled history of being, friends in a certain extent, right? But luckily, of course, her having some sort of redemption, going onwards actually helped her out to grow more as a character. With Marcy, on the other hand, though, who I thought was pretty cool, she was actually pretty interesting. I really liked the chemistry between her and Anne. It seemed like it was pretty healthy, of course, on how season 2 turned out to be. Like, damn! Before I mention anything more on season 2, we do get you introduced with the likes of King Andreas, your dark, evil-looking Santa Claus, mother effer, if I say so myself. I can't believe it. He is actually one of the most funnest, interesting villains, who I would even consider to be very intriguing, so far throughout fiction. All right, because like while I do like me, some pure evil villains here, here and there, he was not like purely evil. He was just carrying out more of his own orders from his own father. Yeah, you do get to see a lot more with King Andreas, in which I will not spoil by any means, but he did used to have close best friends, and one of them was a planter, that spawned many generation of planters. Okay, so it now makes sense. You get to see a lot more correlations. This is where I say the consistency works well, and especially I need to address the tone and the setting on Amphibia, in which, not gonna lie though, it's very well balanced if you think about it. It's being colorful, it's being comforting and wholesome. It has some thrilling moments and some action, some drama. It's a very nice blend. It's not as dark as Gravity Falls, but it's not as too colorful as the likes of KKO. It's a nice blend of the two, in which, which reminds me of another show, which is Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is not too dark, but not too colorful or too friendly, which is well balanced as well. So yeah, Amphibia is really kicking it on how it's being portrayed and presented. It's all executed beautifully well. So what happens in season 2, which feels way more grounded, in which I think it proves a lot more than season 1, if I'm being honest. But yeah, season 2 shines when it comes to being a lot more grounded, and especially on how season 2's climax, really like, okay then. So I see, maybe kind of spoilery, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people now know this, especially when it comes to fan art. And became straight up Super Saiyan Blue, which I think is handled way more better than the likes of Dragon Ball, if I say so myself. What's wrong with you? Why can't you be more like this show? Maybe I should talk about the differences between those two powers. Maybe, who knows? Maybe someday. Now, on how season 3 turned out to be, instead of seeing, like, if you think that Marcy is dead, think again. It's way worse than that. She got possessed by the core, in which has a bunch of King Andreas's ancestors in that helmet or very big, dark-looking thing, and I'm like, okay then. That is actually pretty new to me. I don't think I've seen anything like that before, if I'm being honest, guys. Yeah, on how season 3 turned out, not just more grounded, not just world building, but it's everything in one package that you got to see for yourself on how it turned out to be, especially with its own climax, in which it had some twists and turns that I didn't expect myself. But hey, I really dig what I have witnessed, and especially it introduced me to a music in which I was trying to avoid for a while due to its crazy ass stands. So I tried to look for that very specific song that was playing in the background where Super Saiyan Blue and was fighting King Andreas. I really like that song now, and now I'm kind of addicted to the other type of songs that I found. So yeah, one thing led to another, and I'm like, hey, I kind of pretty much dig this. And the moment I'll say its keywords, I'll be lambasted, because no matter if you're being positive or negative about it, just like how Charlie from Penguin Zero himself puts it, to be like, hey, when it comes to K-pop people, you're gonna get lambasted no matter what. You're gonna be having all these pitchforks in forms of comments going after you, even if you're talking all positive about it. So yeah, that's basically what it is. So yeah, please don't kill me, guys. So anyways, enough of that though. Yeah, we do get to see on how Sprig is struggling with the grasp that he really is going to miss Anne. Seeing that Anne took care of the very big bad on her own, but of course having some friends helping her out. Heck, it was very sweet, and especially seeing them now older at the very end. And I'm sorry, guys, but damn, Sasha, girl, I know you're already my favorite character, but damn, are you trying to make me fall in love with you? Because damn, you look good in that leather jacket. You really, really do. Like oh damn. Like, there's way too many fictional Toon crushes that I can count. Damn it. But yeah, like what you do get to see is that like you now know where Marcy is trying to do with her life. Same thing with Sasha. Hey, what they did with Anne on her life though, I thought it was very sweet. Like she's now working at some sort of like an aquarium or aquatic amusement park. She's now having this own section being called Amphibia. She actually named a little red frog, Sprig, which I think is pretty cute, you know. So yeah, again, I'm not trying to spoil way too much, but I know that may be spoilery by any means, but I thought it was very sweet that I really need to talk about that part at least. So yeah, this show was a great experience. I know this may sound like some sort of review in a sense, but hey, I think I could do way better when it comes to like actually breaking things down a little bit more. Maybe I will rewatch the show and break things down season by season and not all in one video, okay? But yeah, this has been GXVL. Let me know in the comments below of what you honestly think about Amphibia itself. So yeah, later.